Welcome back to Studio 4. I'm Matt Miller with the news for this, the 19th week of 2021. Well, supporting Trekzone is easy, fast and fun. Get the details at the Trekzone/support, as well as liking this video and subscribing on YouTube. Ring the bell to get our latest steps straight to your notifications. If you listen to podcasts, find us on your app, subscribe there too, and get the latest steps downloaded to your device. Now, let's get into the news. Kate Mulgrew has dished some goodies on Prodigy as she promotes her series, Mr. Mercedes. She praises Alex Kurtzman as really astute, with an ability to understand the culture and demographics of the Star Trek audience, and in particular, where they are lacking, the under-20s. Mulgrew goes on to explain the beginning of the series and how these kids from the Delta Quadrant come across hologram Janeway. In her words, 5 kids are incarcerated on an obscure planet in an uncharted part of the galaxy, and they escaped from their imprisonment and race across the planet to find a defunct starship buried in the sand of the planet's surface. They go in, and of course, the prison guards are coming after them, and they can't get it up and running. The shields won't run, nothing will work, and suddenly somebody accidentally hits a button and the voice says, "Hello kids, I see you're a little bit stuck here. Can I help you out?" Of course, that's Captain Janeway in holographic form. So I think it's really going to capture the imagination of little kids, Mulgrew says. The adult supervision, the parents, whoever it might be that watched Voyager growing up, and bring the whole thing as a family affair and back into full circle. Mike McMahan has spoken with Trek Movie about the forthcoming second season of Lower Decks. It's likely we'll see more legacy characters on the series based on what he had to say, but that it'll be his version of the characters because he'll be writing and directing them. McMahon also notes that he is open to correction and adjustment in the voice booth by the actors themselves, who obviously have a deep connection with their characters. Mike McMahon notes that it's tough to strike a balance because he doesn't want to make the characters too cartoony or diminish the live action work. So someone like Sir Patrick Stewart is less likely to appear, for example, he says. When asked about coordination across the various shows in production, McMahon says that there is a showrunners meeting often to talk about what each of the shows are doing seasonally and where they're going with legacy characters. McMahon also intimates that Lower Decks may exaggerate some of the finer details, but for legacy characters, they'll certainly gel with their timelines. With Prodigy set just 3 years after Lower Decks, Mike McMahon says that they are careful to ensure the late 24th century is consistent. We'll know more when Season 2 premieres in the next few months. Well, following last week's decision to move Destination Star Trek Germany forward 17 months, Destination Star Trek London has reaffirmed their November 2021 con. In a post on their website, the organisers confirm vaccine rollout and the relative low numbers of daily infections in the UK mean the 12th to 14th of November are go for Destination Star Trek. Meanwhile, Star Trek The Cruise, postponed last year, has been set for late February next year and is already a sellout, so it's ready to set sail. Creation's Star Trek Vegas Con, the 55-year mission, now no longer an official event, is proceeding for August this year too, and ReedPop's first dip into the pool, Mission Chicago, announced on First Contact Day, is still powering towards April 2022. New York Comic Con and San Diego Comic Con are also on track too for later this year. Here at home, Oz Comic Con and Supernova continue to power ahead despite Australia's vaccine track record, but our ability to mitigate the virus outbreak means that we can have large gatherings like that. Well, let's come home now to the University of Queensland, and Dr. Brett Addison has discovered an ultra-hot Jupiter. The research fellow used data from tests to confirm the existence of TOI 1431b/Mascara 5b. It's around 490 light years away and is hot enough to melt most metals known to humanity. Dr. Addison describes it as a hellish world without a solid surface. On the scale of hotness, ultra-hot Jupiters are defined as having a dayside temperature greater than 2200 Kelvin, and at that temperature, these planets have surfaces that are hotter than some of the coolest stars in the galaxy. With a dayside temperature in excess of 2900 Kelvin and a nightside temperature in excess of 2500 Kelvin, TOI 1431b is believed to be one of the hottest of these kinds of planets ever detected. Well, what a week on Trekzone. We were live for the crash landing of China's Long March 5B booster. We updated the news about Gates McFadden's disappointment at being overlooked again for Picard. Dr. Brad told us about New Shepard's auction and Australia's new space commander. Fausto Hader beamed in to talk Discovery's visual effects, and NASA's Jason DeWalken beamed in to update us on Osiris-Rex. We recapped Talkin' Trek and went live with the world premiere of Aaron Van der Clay's new fan film Beyond the Sun. And coming up this week, we're diving into the Voyager podcast of Talkin' Trek. Dr. Brad will be back with more Talkin' Science. John Cassar beams in to chat directing in COVID times. He's working with Seth MacFarlane to direct the third season of The Orville. We'll have another Talkin' Science deep dive, and we'll flash back to our Canberra road trip on That Time When. Don't miss a moment. Subscribe and ring the bell on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed in your favourite app, and sign up for the mailing list on our website, which is, of course, trekzone.org. 18 years online this year. Leave a comment on YouTube too. Let's chat about the stories this week, but for now, and as always, I'm Matt Miller for Trekzone.
Keep up to date with Twitter. Catch new podcasts daily on YouTube. Plus, we're beaming to your favourite podcast app 5 days a week. Just search for Trekzone and subscribe.